Welcome back to the Tool Crib. Today we are going to be talking about a rotary tool and why I think it is probably one of the most versatile tools that you can own. In particular, we're going to be discussing the Dremel 4000. Now I bought mine in a kit. Mine is the Dremel 4000 434, which is 4 accessories that come with it and 34 separate pieces that be that sanding disc or cutoff wheels or a number of different things that they come with. Now, they sell these in a variety of different size kits as well, so you can get them with quite a bit more accessories than what I bought mine with. They also have some separate accessories that you can buy for them, such as a drill station or a routing attachment as well. There is just a number of different functions that you can do with a Dremel. Now they also have models that are cordless models, so if you're just looking to do something that you want to do some engraving on, like on tools or any number of things, then one of those might be better suited to your needs. I chose the 4000 because I wanted the tool that has a little bit more power. Now they do have a couple of models that are even more powerful than this one. Now one of the things about the larger models is that they become quite a handful when you're trying to use them to do various things. So one of the best attachments that you can get for one of these is the little extension, which I'll show here after a while. I bought one for mine. It did not come in the 434 kit, but I bought one separately for mine, and I can tell you it makes a world of difference when you're doing little detail tasks. Now the great thing about Dremels is you can do just a number of different tasks with them, from cutting steel and wood to polishing, to grinding, to sanding, just any number of things. And with some of the specialized attachments that come with them, it just increases their capability. It is one of the most useful and most adaptable tool that I have ever purchased in my life. Now, on the job site, we use rotary tools as well, but because they're more of an industrial application, we don't necessarily use a Dremel. We use 1/4 inch arbored tools, so they're quite a bit beefier than what your Dremel is. I do like the Dremel on the workbench though. It allows me to do a number of different tasks and do them quite well as well. So let's walk through the 4000 real quick. So it's just going to have your standard power cord, and it's actually a pretty long cord. It's about 6 feet long or something like that. It does have a lock button here, so when you are removing the whatever attachment that you have on your Dremel, you have the ability to lock it in place, and then you can release the nut. Has your power on and off switch, and then it has a dial down here. Now you can go anywhere from 5,000 RPM on the 4000 model all the way up to 35,000 RPM. It gives you a nice wide range of speeds there to do a variety of different tasks. I really like the fact that this has a lot of air opening fins here too, so you get a lot of air movement out of this tool, because when you are working at those higher RPMs, these tools do tend to get pretty hot. Also on here is a little hanging clip, so you can, when you're using this in combination with the extension, you can just hang this tool up, especially if you have the workstation, which I do. You can hang this on your workstation, and then it gives you the ability to have a little bit better control, if you will, with that attachment. Well, let's walk through some of the accessories and tools that you can get with your Dremel. Most of these is what came with mine. I have a couple of extra that I've purchased separately from my Dremel 4000 434 kit, but one of the most useful for me is the easy lock feature of their cutoff wheels. I use their cutoff wheels for cutting on different metals all the time, and I really like this one because it's really easy to replace these or switch them out for a new one. So you just pull the back down here, and then that will release your disc. You just rotate it, spin it out, and you can see that it is sized or has the same groove placement that this one does. So you just slip it right over, grab your new one. Well, if I can get it lined up there, and spin it 90 degrees, and then release, and you are ready to go again. Makes for a very quick change out of your cutoff disc. That easy lock system is really, really fabulous. The next accessory that we'll talk about is their polishing wheels. These are really great for if you're like polishing on jewelry and stuff, you know, precious metals. They send along, now these are just a couple examples that you can get different sized polishing wheels, and they have their own compound for your polishing compound as well. Very, very nice little tool. Now the attachment that goes with it has the pin here, or where it goes into the arbor, or excuse me, the arbor, and then it has a threaded portion up here where you will, once that's set in the tool, you just rotate your felt pads on there and you are good to go. Very nice for working on or polishing up metal as well. Now, one of the tools that I get a lot of use out of, and that is going to be the sanding drums, and they have these in a variety of different sizes. This one goes up to right around 1/2 inch. It's not quite 1/2 inch, it's actually a little bit over, but they have a 1/4 inch, 3/8, and 1/2 inch version for these Dremel tools. And all the drums, they're going to come in a variety of different grit sizes as well. So you can get them from really fine, really coarse grit, kind of like this one, down to about 240, I think. I don't remember seeing them any finer than 240 grit, but 240 usually does a pretty good job for polishing on steel. Or sanding on steel, and this is one that I get an awful lot of use out of. You also have the ability to add on a variety of different cleaning brushes, from the soft bristle brushes to the wire wheel type here, and they come in a variety of different other shapes and sizes as well. These are just examples of what came in the 434 kit. Just the amount of stuff that you can do with the Dremel for cleaning and polishing, grinding, cutting, is really, really fabulous tool. Another thing that you can do with the Dremel is engraving. So if you have, like, you want to engrave your tools or something, just any number of things that you want to get engraved, and they have diamond cutters that will work on glass for doing designs in glass or in tile, stuff of that nature. Very, very nice. These are just two examples of the engravers that came with my Dremel. These are more for doing designs in wood. So if you have a design that you want to put into a piece of trim work or something like that, very, very nice tool for doing those detailed tasks. Now, I will say that with the 4000 grinder, it becomes a little, that particular Dremel is a little large. I would definitely recommend using the extension attachment if you're going to be using it as an engraving tool. It would just be a little easier to work with, and I'll show you that here in just a moment. The next thing that you can get with your Dremel, and these are examples that came with my kit, is a variety of different grinding stones for grinding on whatever you need to. And now these are just a few of the shapes and sizes that they offer. They do offer quite a bit more. This one in particular works really handy with a particular attachment. Actually, several of them do, depending on what you are grinding on. One of the next tools that they have here, this is an attachment that will, it's a plunge cutter for doing stuff like drywall. So if you wanted to cut into drywall to make a new, to set a new outlet as an example, this is a very good tool for doing that. Now, this also works really well in combination with one of the accessories, and that is a circle cutter, which we're going to show you here in just a moment as well. So if you want to cut round holes, you can do that as well. We're going to look at a couple of the accessories that come with the Dremel as well, or it came with mine. Some of these you'll have to get separately depending on what model you might decide to purchase. So this is part of the engraving tool. This one gives you a handle to give you a little bit more control whenever you're using this as an engraving tool. Works really, really well, and very easy on and off. All you have to do is just remove the wrench portion here, unscrew that, and most of these attachments are going to attach in that fashion. Well, if I can get it to, there we go. The next attachment that we're going to look at is the router attachment. This one's actually pretty nice. Now, I don't have any router bits, but this gives you a miniature router, and then it has height adjustment here as well. So you'll set your whatever particular router bit you want to work with, set it in there, and then it gives you a lot of viewing area for being able to keep it you know, on your pattern or wherever you're trying to route to. Now this next attachment has a couple of different pieces that go with it. So this was the circle cutter that we were talking about. So it has your pin there where you can set it in either direction. So if you wanted to get in there really short and make a really small radius circle, you can do that. Or if you need to get a little larger, you can turn the other way. Has a pin that screws onto the top side here. So once you get it set, you lock it in place, set it, and then you can cut out your circles. Now with this also, it has a separate piece. This is a fence for this tool. So if you wanted to, if you're doing a routing a straight line into a particular project, then you can set it along your project there, get it set to the right depth, and then you have straight edge to keep a nice straight line with it. This is a very handy attachment that came with my 434, and one that you can also purchase separately for the tools that may not come with it. Now the last attachment that came in my kit is the fence here. This is for, as a matter of fact, let's just put it on the tool real quick, kind of give you an idea. Well, I'll tell you what I want to do first is I want to set one of that grinding stone in there. We'll just lock that in place. We don't have to snug it down too far because we're not working with it right now. We're just showing what you can do with it. So this gives you the option. So it has a 45-degree side to it, and then it has the 90-degree or flat surface to it. And then this one is also adjustable. Now this tool, when used in combination with something like your grinding wheels here, you get it set where you need it to. And then this is really nice for, if, like I talked about before, if you want to set a chisel on there and you want to grind a new edge on it, it gives you allows you to keep that consistent angle. That's very nice. It also moves up, so it gives you a little grinding table there, a little table, so that if you're grinding on a particular little small piece of steel and you need to get the edges polished down, ground down, works really well with this, and with the sanding wheels as well, the sanding drums as well. Now the last attachment is one that didn't come with my particular Dremel. This is one I had to purchase separately because I got the wrong kit. I didn't look at it close enough, otherwise I probably would have bought the kit that had this included. So this is your extension. This is very nice because now it brings all of your attachments out here where you can really work with it quite a bit easier. It makes working with the Dremel so much more convenient and comfortable. It comes with some ridges in here that allow you to get a little bit of grip. It also has a lock mechanism here. Now with this one you'll have to use the wrench to get it on and off because it doesn't have that same style of built-in wrench. So you'll have to use this one in combination with your wrench whenever you're switching it out. Now on top here, this is the most important piece to it. This is a special collet that you have to put on the Dremel itself. So this particular one has a square cut out into it. And the shaft that is in here is that will engage with the shaft, the flexible shaft that goes through here. So we'll have to take this one off and we're going to switch it out, switch our collets around. So we'll take the collet that came on the Dremel, we'll replace it with this one. If I can get that threaded on there correctly. Here we go. We'll set that down. Go ahead and lock it in. And now we have to take this piece off. And then you can set your extension down on there. Once you get it in, then you just tighten it up. And now you'll bring your collet that came off of your Dremel and you'll set it out on the end here, and now you can attach whatever your tool that you're working with. In this case we'll just put our little sanding drum and hit the lock button here so we can get it to tighten. Then once you get it set in, you just come back, lock it in, use your wrench, and then now you have a lot more control, especially when working with these larger Dremels. So you can kind of see the difference if you're trying to do some engraving work with this tool, even if with the engraving attachment. It's just so much easier and so much more control with this smaller unit, and that really allows you to get in there and do a lot more detailed work. If there's one attachment that would be my most highly recommended for a Dremel, it would definitely be this extension whip. It is just night and day difference when working with the Dremel. Now there are other attachments out there that you can get, as well as many different accessories that I don't own. There's diamond bits, there's a plethora of engraving bits out there. I do have the drill station that you can get with the workstation that you can get with the Dremel, and that makes it much easier to work with as well. So with the drill station, you're able to set it up, and then you just pull your hook out here, and this, well, that one's in there pretty tight. I don't want to break my nails, so let me put that driver in there to pop that out. So you could just set it on your workstation. Now this will hang at the top of the workstation, and this allows the whip to run free, and it makes it so much more convenient. But definitely this extension would definitely be my most highly recommended accessory for a Dremel tool. Now the Dremel 4000 also comes with a carrying case that allows you to set in all of your different attachments. Your drill will set here along with your cord, some of your accessories over here, some of the grinding wheel attachments and engraving bits and stuff like that in here, extra collets. And then on the opposite side, it also has a spot for the extension to rest in. So that is very nice that they include it, as well as all your instruction manuals and warranty information. Very nice compact little case to house your Dremel in. Now this particular Dremel, the Dremel 4000 434, ran about $80 with most of the accessories that I showed you here, as well as the carrying case. The only one that didn't come with was the extension, the whip extension. And I'll be honest with you, I bought this for one particular project I had in mind that I needed. I just needed a rotary tool. And I looked at some of the smaller models, but I am kind of the nature if I'm going to buy a tool, I'm going to, not necessarily the best one, but one that is going to handle projects that I could see myself using it for in the future. And so I decided to get the 4000 series because I felt like it was robust enough to do all the other things that I thought I might have plans for this later on. And I honestly bought it for just that one project, and I didn't think I was going to use it that much after the fact. But honestly, especially with that whip attachment, I have found myself using this tool many different times, much more than I ever anticipated, because it is so versatile. There is just so many different things that you can do with these Dremel tools, with these rotary tools, that I have found just an enormous amount of uses for them. And my wife, she likes to do arts and craft projects. She especially likes to redo old furniture and stuff of that nature. So she hasn't used it yet, but her first idea was, usually she kind of gives me the sigh and the look whenever I go to buy a new tool, depending on what it is. But on this one, she had absolutely no problem with me buying this one, because I think she foresaw herself doing a lot of different projects with it herself. So the Dremel is a tool that I very highly recommend. Just so many different things that you can do with them. I'll leave links to this particular tool, as well as some of the different stages of this tool, so you can get it with different accessories to come with it, as well as some of the other models of Dremel that are very handy. I think if you have one, you'll know that they are incredibly versatile, and you end up using them more than you ever thought you would. Well, my name's Ben. This has been a look at the Dremel 4000, and a tool that I really like, and really think that it would be perfect in the garage for just about every guy. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one.